to get started, I have my paint, I have paper towel, you could also use an old rag, cup of water, and my paper. We're going to be painting some lovely blobs and turning them into birds. So I'm going to use a round brush. This is a size 5. Any size will do. It depends on what kind of size birds you want. All right, I'm going to start by waking up my paint, any color I want, adding some water to it and gently waking it up. Now, the fun part of these blobs is that we keep them very wet so we can let colors mix nicely together. I've got a lot of water on my brush and I'm going to make a wiggly circle. It doesn't have to be exact. In fact, wiggly can be good. Now, while it's still really wet, I'm going to wake up a second color that would mix well. These are often called analogous colors. They're close together on the color wheel. Or I can pick 2 colors that I know create a new color. So by mixing in red, I know that where they blend, they'll make purple. So I know that they'll mix well together because they make a whole new color. The blue I used is a pretty dark indigo, and so it's taking over mostly, but that's okay. And I'm gonna let that blob dry while I do another one. All right, I'm gonna wake up one of my greens. Again, a lot of water on your brush. I'm gonna give some space, maybe do one over here. Lots of water. You can see how shiny it is. That's because it's very wet. Puddles are actually okay for this project. Sometimes puddles are not a good idea, but today they are. All right, I'm gonna mix some yellow with my green because yellow and green are nearby each other on the color wheel. Ooh. I had to make sure to get a lot of yellow because yellow can be kind of a weak color. And if I don't give it a lot of potent paint, then it might not show up. All right. This is a great exercise to just practice color. I'm gonna go ahead and do green again. This is a darker green than the first green. Oh no, just kidding, same one. I've got a light green there, but I have not used it yet. And this time I'm gonna add some blue. So I'm going the opposite direction on the color wheel. I'm gonna wake up some of my lighter blue here. And drip that in on one side. So we're not trying to mix them and blend them all together. We're letting the colors kind of dance and do their own thing. I want to kind of fill this up. I want lots of birds. Now I might end up turning it a different direction. Right now they're just blobs, so it doesn't really matter what orientation they are. I can kind of decide that once they're all painted. So I'm gonna go ahead and do something with red. And maybe I'll add some yellow, because I know if they mix, they'll make some orange, and see how those two get along. I haven't done any purple yet, so I'm gonna come down and wake up my purple. Lots of water. I've noticed I'm really spaced them out very equally. I'm gonna try to close that gap. It's nice when you're composing something random or a bunch of things if they're not all equally spaced. So I want some close together and some far apart. I'm gonna wake up a blue and drip that in with my purple. Let's see, I wanna do some more warm colors. I've got a lot of cool colors going on. I don't have a lot of warm colors. I'm gonna wake up this kind of ochre. This is kind of what I use for my orange. Otherwise I'll mix reds and yellows. I don't know why I don't really have an orange handy. Because I'm actually gonna make it orange with my red today. So this one I'm mixing intentionally to make an orange color. And then I'm gonna add some more opaque red. So I've woken up the red and tried to get a more dense red that I can drip into my orange. Since I already used some of that same red, I can't just mix it in like I did or you won't see it. All right. This is kind of just playing, so really you can pick any colors, but again, you should really think about that color wheel. If you don't have one handy, pull one up on your phone, find something that you can look at if you're not familiar with it, because that can really help you pick the right colors. Otherwise, if you were to mix opposites, like red and green, you would end up with brown. And while you might want brown sometimes, I'm going for bright, colorful birds, so I'm not trying to find opposite colors. All right, I'm gonna put one more, maybe over here. I love this dark indigo blue. It's one of my favorites. I'm gonna add some purple to it this time because I've already gone and added red, so I'm gonna go the opposite direction. I haven't done purple and red actually, so I'm gonna do that next. I'm gonna fit one more in this corner. Maybe he's a big one. And some red. Okay, now you can either go make yourself a cup of tea, hot cocoa, coffee, and sit and wait around for it to dry, or you can grab a heat gun or a hair dryer and dry it yourself. Now, for drawing our birds, you could use a Sharpie if you want thicker, bolder lines. I tend to use these Micron pens. This is a PN size, which is usually around like a 0.2 or 0.3, but it's just got an easier tip that doesn't bend or break as easily. So now what I get to do is just trace these blobs kind of loosely. This is the bodies of our birds, and it's okay if that doesn't quite follow your blob. Sometimes it'd be kind of fun if it does and goes different ways. This is their fluffy, feathery body. Now we might actually do some more painting. However, we want to kind of know what's going on before we do more painting. So before we add any wings or beaks or feet, we got to kind of pick what their bodies will look like. Now, I mentioned I might change the orientation, so I'm going to take a second to look at it all different ways. I kind of like it the original way, or this way could be interesting as well. Maybe this way. I'm gonna go this way and we'll see how it goes. Okay, now I'm gonna add some faces, so little beaks and eyes, and I want them going different directions. So if this one has a beak going this way, maybe this one's beak's going up, this one is going down, this one is going over, this one's over here, over here. So I'm trying to change up the direction of the beak, and then I'm gonna add eyes with it. Kind of usually probably one eye, unless it's looking kind of up or down, then I can add 2 eyes. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some little wings. Most of them are kind of looking sideways, so for those I'm gonna add side wings, and this one I might add some wings kind of to the side of it. So if they have their eye looking to the side, then my wing is going to the side. For my wing, it's just kind of a little M, but it's got 3 bumps. You can really make it any way you want, but I would just repeat that shape to make it feel cohesive when it comes to the wings. All right, tails can be fun. So maybe there's gonna be some longer tails. So just longer M's. They're more like, almost like leaf or flower petals, but just in bunches. And the very final part is just gonna be some arms and legs. Make some long legs with some little feet, little bird toes. Oh my gosh, okay, this is amazing. I'm having a lot of fun with this already. Maybe if it's looking up, maybe it's kind of, I don't know what to do for this one's legs. It's kind of looking up. I think I'll still give it some little legs, kind of like it's looking backwards. Maybe these ones have little legs that do this. Okay, I love that. That's fun. So feel free to have fun with kind of what the legs are doing. Maybe they're going for a run. Maybe some have really short legs. Okay, oh, one more. 2 more. That one's going for a walk. It's a little strange. That one's crossing its feet over. All right, now I might add a little bit of color to some of these wings. I could choose an accent color, for example, on this kind of cool colored one. I'm gonna put some little bits of red in the tail because that's just fun. Maybe I'll try to put some on the wing, but it might not show up. And by picking these now opposite kind of colors, then I can make them stand out a little easier. So you don't have to, you could make a match too. You might also want to switch to a smaller brush. This is kind of tricky, the size, keeping this large brush. I'm gonna switch, I've got this really tiny brush. I don't know if I really need this tiny of a brush, but I'm gonna give it a try. And maybe some blue on my warm colored birds. All right, and then for the beaks, I'm gonna probably use oranges and yellows just because that'll keep it beak-like. Okay, I had so much fun with these little birds. These are so joyful and playful. These would make a perfect greeting card or just cute thing. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of obsessed. I want to make like 50 of these. So once you start, you may never stop. Just a warning. Have so much fun making your goofy little birds.